We're going to do some yoga today. First, I want to talk about this concept of Aparigraha, which is a Sanskrit word meaning non-grasping. I think it's really applicable right now in just letting go of this expectation that the world should be a certain way and accepting it for how it is, as scary and confusing and unpredictable as it is. This concept also applies to the body, where we tend to hold on or grasp or get stuck in these postural places where maybe our shoulders go up by our ears, or we're constantly having tension in our lower back or hips. Our jaw is always tight. So I think we have a lot to gain by paying attention to where am I clinging, where am I holding on to this idea, whether physical or mental, of things need to be a certain way, and where is there room to let go? Because usually letting go is easy once we become aware that we're holding on to something. So to get started, we're going to sit for a little bit. If you have a cushion or a pillow, what I do is I have some yoga blankets, and I'll put them underneath my butt so my hips are higher than my feet, and it'll make it a lot more comfortable if you're sitting or meditating for a while. So to get started, I just want us to focus on our breath. Breathing is probably the most important thing throughout any kind of yoga practice. You really want to continuously bring yourself back to your breath. There's going to be all sorts of weird thoughts going through your brain at any time of the day. But for this time we're practicing yoga, your only job is to bring yourself back to your breath. So let's focus on breathing through our nose, inhaling and exhaling only through the nose. And as we inhale, we're going to breathe into our diaphragm, our lower belly, and have it puff out when we inhale. And then when we exhale, it's going to be coming back in. So when we inhale, it's like we're filling up this balloon deep in our belly. And when we exhale, that balloon is expelling air. So let's take a few inhales and exhales like this, breathing in, pausing for a moment at the top of your inhale, and then slowly exhaling. You can close your eyes if this is comfortable for you. You can look at the ground, you can look at the ceiling, whatever you want to look at, whatever's comfortable. Let's try that again. Let's inhale as our stomach puffs out. Pause for a moment, and then slowly exhale. Pausing at the bottom of your exhale. Let's inhale again. And then exhale. Take a few breaths like this at your own pace. Extending your inhales and your exhales. We're helping to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, telling our minds and our bodies that everything's okay, we're safe, for this moment we can relax. Take one more big inhale as we puff out our stomach. And then after you fully exhale, we're going to start to do some Sufi grinds. So for Sufi grind, you're leaving your hips planted, rooted into the floor, the cushion, whatever you're sitting on. And then imagine your spine and your neck is like one straight unit, and we're going to start to make these circles. So moving in this circular motion and continuing to breathe, we're loosening up our hips, we're activating our lumbar spine, getting things warmed up and ready to do some more physical postures. Stay focused on your inhales and exhales. If you want, you can inhale as you come forwards and exhale as you come backwards. What's important is that you keep coming back to your breath. We'll switch directions now, coming the opposite way. Remembering to keep our breath consistent. If we can't breathe, if we find that we're holding our breath, we need to back off from whatever we're doing until we can find that place where we're feeling sensation, but we're also able to take a full inhale and exhale. Let's come back to the center and do some gentle neck rolls. So moving our neck in one direction. Helpful to close your eyes when you do this. You want to pause if you feel sensation in a particular spot. Rotate the opposite way. Remembering not to hold your breath. Continuing those motions with your neck. Being very gentle with the sensitive part of your body. Inhale and come back to the center. Remove any cushion if you're sitting on something. From here, we're going to sit on our left hand. And we're going to bring our right hand up to the left side of our head and slowly pull our head over to the right. So we're stretching this area in between our left ear and our left shoulder. So we're sitting on our hand to kind of bring our left shoulder down. And then we're using our hand to very gently pull our head over to the right. Creating a little bit of a stretch in our scalenes. Loosening up the places where our scapula goes. We can turn our head towards our right armpit and get more into the trapezius. So we kind of pull on the back of our head, pulling it towards our right armpit, making sure that we're very gentle. Using our right hand, we can bring our head back to the center, remove our left hand, and then sit on our right. We'll do the opposite. So taking our left hand, we're going to pull our head over to the left, making sure that our right shoulder is getting pushed downwards by sitting on it. And then very gently just pull our head and our neck over to the left. Feel grounded. Feel the sensation in your neck. You're creating space, you're relieving tension, and you're staying grounded at the same time. Rotate your head now so you're looking towards your left armpit. Making sure to continue your inhales deep and long and extended. Let's take one more inhale and exhale here. And then using your left hand, bring your head back to the center. Let's inhale, bringing our hands up overhead. And then exhale, folding forwards. Let everything go in this position. So let go of your head, let go of your neck, let go of your shoulders, and just melt into the ground for a moment. If this feels too intense on your hips, you can get into child's pose instead. And that's kind of like sitting on your heels with your knees apart, and then you're just going to fold forwards, letting your forehead get to the ground. So if you're in child's pose, or if you're still sitting in easy pose, we're going to slide over, bringing our nose to our left knee, doing that same forward bend, opening up our right side body a little bit more. Let's take a few inhales and exhales here. And then we're going to walk our hands over to the right side. So now we'll try to bring our nose to our right knee. Take a few breaths here. Using your hands, we're going to walk ourselves back up. And then we'll get into all fours position for some cat-cows. So the inhale position, you're going to be arching your back, looking forwards, and your shoulder blades are going to come a little bit closer together. And then as you exhale, you're going to round your spine, you're going to look towards your knees, and you'll create some more space in between your shoulder blades. So inhale, arch your back, look up. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, arching the spine. Exhale, rounding your back. Let's do a few of these at your own pace. So inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. From here, we're going to step our right foot forwards, get into a lunge position, putting both of our hands on our hips. Let's inhale, get nice and long. And then as we exhale, we're going to come forwards and then also come downwards. So we're stretching out the left hip flexor, our psoas, and our quad. Remembering to breathe and letting go of anything that you don't need, that's not serving you. Inhale, reach your hands up into the air. Take an inhale and an exhale here. Your next inhale, we'll come back up, and then we're going to extend our right foot, put the shoelace side of our left foot on the ground, and then we're going to fold over our right leg, stretching out our right hamstring. You're going to let your head and your neck go as you try to fold over your right leg. You can experiment with pointing your toes towards your feet, towards your face, or pointing them away from your body to get a different sensation. Let's take one more inhale and exhale here. And we're going to come into a gated child's pose. So for this, you're going to have your right foot out to the side. Your left leg is going to stay where it is. Then we're going to sit back on our left heel, and then leaving our right leg out where it is, we're just going to walk our hands forward and get into a child's pose. So you want to try to keep the outside, the right edge of your foot on the ground if possible. And then let everything else go. Inhale and come back up. From here, we're going to take our right leg, standing up on our left knee, and then bringing our right leg all the way across our body. So when we fold forwards again, we're going to stretch the hamstring and then also the IT band of our right leg. So you can use your hands to kind of balance you, and then slowly start to just fold as much as you can. You won't really have to go forwards much to feel a lot of sensation. Hanging out here. As long as you can. Deep inhale. Exhale. The next inhale, come back into that runner's lunge position. But this time we're going to have our left foot in front. Bring both hands on our hips. Take a nice inhale to get long in your spine, and then as we exhale, we're going to come forwards and down to stretch out our right hip flexor, our right quad, our psoas, all that tight stuff inside of our hips. Making sure you can still inhale and exhale. If it feels too much, too intense, you can come back up a little bit. You want to make sure you can breathe. And maybe you bounce back and forth in between feeling that really intense sensation and then coming back up. Let's extend, straighten our left leg, standing up on our right. Then we're going to fold over our left foot. We're stretching our left hamstring and our left calf. And you can experiment again with pointing your toes towards your face or pointing them away. Remembering to inhale and exhale. Your next inhale, or bring that foot out again for the gated child's pose. So sitting down onto your right heel, we're going to fold forwards, reaching our hands out in front of us, while our left leg is extended out to our side. Next inhale, we'll come back up, bringing that left leg all the way across to the right side of our yoga mat. And then we're going to fold forward, stretching out our left hamstring, and IT band on our left leg. Remembering to breathe deeply in and out. Your next inhale, we're going to get into our first downward dog. So for downward dog, you want to make sure that your fingers are spread really wide, and then try to put the weight onto the base of your fingers, not at the base of your palm. Just bringing your hips up into the air. You'll walk your feet out a little bit to stretch your calves. Move your hips side to side. And do whatever feels good for your body. From here, we're going to walk our feet up to our hands. And we're going to get into a big forward fold. So make sure you bend your knees. There's no need to lock them in place like this. Bend your knees a lot. And then let your head and your neck and your shoulders go completely. You can interlace your hands like this. You're going to move your elbows and your forearms back and forth, side to side, letting everything go. On your next inhale, we're going to come into this halfway lifted position where our backs are parallel to the ground. Our butt is shooting one direction and our head is going the other direction. We're going to exhale, fold forwards again, letting everything go. Then we're going to inhale, coming back to our home base position. So standing nice and tall, imagine there's a string pulling your head up into the air and you're very firmly grounded in your feet. We're going to inhale, bringing our hands up over our heads and clasping our palms together. Looking up at our thumbs, we're going to grab our left wrist with our right fingers and then bend over to the right, kind of pulling up on that left hand as we bend over and exhale. Inhale, come back to the middle, grabbing our right wrist with our left fingers. And then as we exhale again, bending over to the left. Inhale as you come back to the middle. Exhale, we're going to make cactus arms and do a baby back bend as we look up at the ceiling. Inhale, bringing our hands back up. Do it one more time. So grab the left wrist with our right fingers. Exhale, bending over to the right. Inhale, coming back up. Grabbing our right wrist with our left fingers. Exhale, going over to the left. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, cactus arms, baby back bend. Inhale, coming back up. And then exhale, bringing our hands to heart center. From here, we're going to do some standing poses. So we'll bring our right foot out and get a big bend in the right knee for warrior two. Our left toes are at a 45-degree angle. And we're trying to keep our weight evenly distributed between both feet. So from here, extend both arms in opposite directions, and then look over your right fingertips. Let's take a few inhales and exhales here. See if there's anything you can let go of, any muscle tension you're holding that's not serving you right now. Then on your next exhale, we're going to bring our right elbow down to our right knee, and our left hand is going to come up overhead, making this big line all the way from our left toes up to our left hand. Some inhales and exhales here. We'll bring our left hand behind our back. And then our right hand is going to come up overhead as we leave our feet in the same position, but we're bending our upper body over to the left. Take a big inhale and exhale here. If you're bending too much, you can come back up a little bit. Make sure you can breathe fully and deeply. And then we'll switch sides. So big bend in your left knee. Right foot is straight. Right toes at a 45-degree angle. Arms come in opposite directions, and we're going to look over our left fingertips. Let's take a few inhales and exhales here. On your next exhale, we'll bring our left elbow down to our left knee, and then extend the right arm up overhead with the palm facing the ground, making one big line all the way from our right foot up to our right palm. Inhale and exhale here. On your next exhale, bring that right hand behind your back. That left arm comes up overhead. Your feet should stay in the same position they were. Good. Next exhale, we'll come back to standing. Now we're going to do some wide-legged forward folds. So leaving our feet about the same distance they just were. We're going to come a tiny bit pigeon-toed. Putting our hands on our hips, we're going to inhale, get nice and long on our spine. And then as we exhale, we're going to try not to round. We don't want to do this. We want to keep our spine really straight, and kind of fold at the hips as we come as low as we can. Then you can start to let things go. And then we're just going to hang out here for 5 breaths. Letting go of any tension on your neck, your head, and your shoulders. Maybe you move your jaw around. See if you can consciously relax your jaw, relax your face. Inhale as we come back up. Exhale. Inhale, reaching your hands up over your head. And then exhale, folding forwards, this time with our hands on the ground, letting our head and our neck go again. And we'll take 5 inhales and exhales hanging here. Next inhale, bring yourself back upright, leaving your legs out wide the way that they are. For this next forward fold, we're going to interlace our hands behind our back like this. And then as we fold forwards, we're going to bring our hands up overhead, stretching out our shoulders, letting our head and our neck and everything else go. Remembering to breathe deeply, and always come back to your breath. Inhale as you come back up to standing. For the last wide-legged forward fold, we're going to grab our big toes with peace sign fingers. So your first and your middle finger will go around the toe, and then your thumb will kind of hold them in place. So we'll inhale, get long, then exhale, fold forwards, grabbing our toes with those peace sign fingers. Exhaling, letting everything go, then just hanging out for 5 breaths. Your next inhale, slowly work our way back up to standing, walking our feet back to the middle. Now we're going to do a few balance poses. So we'll start by balancing on our right foot. So I like to lift my toes up and down a few times to feel like I'm very firmly rooted in my right foot. And then I'll kind of switch my weight over to my right hip. And then there's also an advanced yogi skill called not taking yourself too seriously. So you can laugh, you can wobble, you can fall down, and you'll still be just as enlightened as somebody that is able to balance for hours and days on one foot. So when you're doing tree pose, you can either put your foot against your calf, you can put it against your inner thigh. You just don't want to push it against your knee because knees bend one direction, they don't bend out to the side. It also really helps to pick a drishti point somewhere on the wall, like a screw or a piece of paint or something. That's fall. That's not moving. Okay, I got one now. And then just relax. Don't forget to breathe. And don't hold too much tension in your hips. You need strength, but you also need stability and flexibility, especially now when there's a lot of stress in the world. I think the stronger people are the more flexible, the more resilient ones that know when to use their strength, but more importantly, know when to let go. Bring your hands to heart center. You can bring them up over your head. You can come into warrior 3, balancing on your right foot, and your left foot comes back behind you. You shoot your hands forward like Superman. Do whatever you want to do. Practice balancing. When you've had enough, we'll switch sides. Shake out your body. Shake out your right foot. Get firmly grounded on your left foot now. Sometimes I like to imagine tree roots coming out from every direction of my foot. And not locking my knees, sorry. With a little bit of a bend in the knee is helpful. So get your foot wherever you want to for your tree pose. Pick your drishti point. And then hang out. Don't forget to smile. Don't forget it's just yoga, it's not that serious. Bring your hands up over your head. If you want to be fancy, you can try to grab your big toe with those peace sign fingers. Popping your leg out to the side. Whatever you want to do. Okay, let's shake it out a little bit. Let's come down to the floor and do some more seated poses. Let's see how much time we have. Okay, cool. Let's bring our feet real wide. And then try to get our spines nice and straight. And then from here, we're going to try to keep that straightness in our spine and then fold forwards. This can feel really intense in your hip flexors. Try really hard not to round your spine. Try to keep your spine straight and then just fold a little bit forwards. Hang out here for a moment. Making sure that you're breathing deeply. When you've had enough of this, you can allow your spine to round now. Letting your head go, letting your neck go. Maybe you reach your hands out a little bit further. More stretch. Making sure to breathe deeply. Using your hands, let's walk ourselves back upwards. From here, we're going to stretch out kind of our lumbar spine, our lower back, and the right side and the left side of our body. So we'll start by twisting our torso to look at our right foot. And we're going to bend, kind of twisting over like Mrs. Teapot over to the left. So our body kind of stays in line with our left foot. You can reach, you can grab the outside of your left foot, you can grab your left ankle, wherever you're comfortable. and then bending over to the left. So you should feel a stretch in your right side body and the right side of your lower back. If this is too much, you can just leave your hand up here, maybe under your leg. Find that spot where there's sensation, but there's not pain. Make sure that you listen to your body. If you're super flexible, you can bring your hand up over your head and then see if you can grab your foot, both of your hands. Can't quite do it, but you want to try to keep your side body open while you're coming over with your hand. You've had enough of that. Come back up. We'll switch sides, so we'll rotate our torso over to our left foot. And then we're going to bend over to the right as we exhale. And then wherever you're able to grab on that opposite side, we'll grab on this side. So I'm going to grab the outside of my right foot, keeping my gaze on my torso pointing towards my left. I'm going to continue to bend over to the right as I exhale. And then find a spot where I have a lot of sensation, no pain, and I can still breathe deeply in and out. If you did it on the other side, you can reach your left hand up into the air. If you're super flexible, you can try to bring it all the way over. Wherever you're at, don't force yourself, and if you can't breathe, bring your hand back. The most important thing is that you can take a full inhale and exhale. The next inhale, let's come back to the center. Let's get back into a downward dog. Walk our feet out a little bit. Do some more hip stuff. So we're going to come into a pigeon pose. So from the downward dog, you're going to bring your right knee up towards your right wrist. And there's going to be a lot more space in between your left wrist and your left toe than there is in between your right wrist and your right knee. You're going to extend your left leg out back behind you. And then you want to leave both of your hips square so they're not twisting. As you exhale, you can come down onto your forearms. If you want, you can come down onto your forehead. Wherever you find that spot that's comfortable, we'll hang out here for a while, probably 10 breaths. At any point it gets to be too intense, you can come back up onto your shoulders. Your forearms to finish off the pose. Take one more inhale and exhale here. Using our hands and our left foot, push ourselves up back into a downward dog position. Let's get into a three-legged dog and kind of shake out our right foot a little bit. Bringing that right foot up into the air and then twisting your right knee up at the ceiling. Open up your hip a little bit more. Bring that foot back down. Then we'll do the same on the left side. So bringing your left knee towards your left wrist, making sure there's a lot more space in between your right wrist and your left foot. Get onto the shoelace side of your right leg, pushing your foot backwards. And then as we exhale, we're going to lower ourselves down. If your knee feels funky at all in this position, you need to back out. And what you can do instead is bring your left ankle behind your right knee and then pushing your right knee closer to your body. So same kind of stretch, but safer for your knee. So we'll come back into pigeon. Hang out here for another 5 breaths.
Walk back up, getting into downward dog. Three-legged dog with your left foot up in the air, twisting your left knee up towards the ceiling, getting a nice stretch. Coming back down, and then we'll just rest in child's pose for a few breaths. So we'll do one more hip torture. So for this one, I'm just rotating so you can see how it'll look. You'll be in downward dog, and then you're going to bring your right foot next to both of your hands. So your right foot is on the outside right edge of your yoga mat. And then from there, you're going to bring your left foot backwards a little bit, walking your right foot forwards. And then, if you can come onto your left forearm and your right forearm. And have like a really intense stretch inside of your right thigh. If you're super flexible, you can come all the way down onto your forehead. This is about all I can do right now. Just find that spot where you feel sensation and breathe there for 5 inhales and exhales. Let go of whatever you don't need. Inhale, come back up, and then bringing our left foot to the left edge of the yoga mat in line with both of our feet, walking our right foot back, getting into that lizard lunge on the left side now. So you can come down on your forearms and breathe. Inhale as you come up using your hands. We're going to do one more to stretch out our groin. So we'll bring our knees out wide, making sure that our legs are at a right angle so we kind of look like a frog. And then from here, we're going to come onto our forearms. You can experiment with coming backwards or forwards, finding wherever you have the most sensation. Then just hang out here for 5 breaths. Inhale, come back up. We're going to finish off with some breathing exercises. Taking it from Kundalini Yoga. Kundalini does a lot more breathing, a lot more meditation, a lot more repetitive movements. So we're going to be sitting in easy pose cross-legged for a while. So if you have a cushion or a blanket, you can go ahead and get it again. You get yourself into a comfortable cross-legged position. The first one we're going to do is called Breath of Fire. So for Breath of Fire, you're breathing in and out through your nose with a very forceful movement of your abdomen. So when you inhale, it comes in through your nose fast and you puff out your stomach at the same time. And then as you exhale, you kind of clench, bringing your stomach in as you blow out from your nose. And you're doing it pretty rapidly too, so this is what it looks like. It kind of creates this hyperventilation feeling if you're new to it or if you haven't done it. It does the opposite of the breathing we did at the beginning. It activates more of the sympathetic rather than the parasympathetic nervous system, so it can cause you to feel a little panicky. One thing that I like to tell myself is that I'm in control, I'm the one doing this. And through this process, you're inoculating yourself to stress. So by putting your nervous system through a little bit of a stress, you'll be more better equipped to deal with stuff that happens throughout your life. So we're going to try to do breath of fire for 1 minute straight. If you need to, you can take a break. You can go a little bit slower. Or you can just stop if it feels really uncomfortable and you start to get panicked. So starting now, we're going to do 1 minute breath of fire. About 35 seconds in. You can go slower if you need to. Ten more seconds, finish up strong. Good. Inhale very deeply, as far and as hard as you can. Hold your breath at the top of your inhale. Hold it as long as you can. When you can't hold your breath anymore, slowly exhale. Letting go of anything that you don't. Remember this concept of Aparigraha. Letting go of muscle tension, letting go of mental stuff, letting go of anything that does not serve you, that you do not need for this present moment. We're going to do 2 more breathing exercises. The next one, we're going to have our hands in Gyan Mudra, which is the mudra for knowledge. So you bring your thumb and your first finger together, and your other 3 fingers are together and straight. You can rest your wrists on your knees, so your fingers are pointing at the ground. Your thumb and your forefingers stay connected like that. While your hands are like that. We're going to be doing a similar movement with our abdomen that we did in Breath of Fire, but we're not going to be breathing while we do it. So what we do is we inhale all the way, exhale all the way, and at the bottom of our exhale, we're going to hold our breath and pump our stomach like this. So our stomach is kind of moving in and out, but we're holding our breath. We're going to do this for 3 minutes straight. Mark, that's it, go. Inhale all the way, exhale all the way, holding your breath at the bottom of the exhale, then pump your stomach in and out. When you can't pump your stomach anymore, inhale, exhale, and at the bottom of your exhale, continue to pump your stomach. Inhale, exhale, holding your breath at the bottom of your exhale, pumping your stomach. Inhale, exhale, pumping your stomach. Halfway through, 1 minute and a half left. Inhale, exhale all the way, holding your breath at the bottom of the exhale, then pumping your stomach. Inhale, exhale, and pumping your stomach.
Inhale. Exhale. Getting rid of all the air in your lungs. And then your stomach. We've got about 30 more seconds. Inhale. Exhale. Pump your stomach. Let's do one more round. Inhale. Exhale. Pumping your stomach. On this next inhale, we're going to pause at the top of our inhale. So inhale all the way. Filling up your lungs from top to bottom, and then holding your breath for as long as you can. Completely full of oxygen. Holding your breath as long as you can. Whenever you need to, slowly exhale, letting everything go. Returning to your normal breath. We have one more breathing exercise before we finish. For this one, we're going to take our left hand and then bring it behind our back, in between our shoulder blades. So it'll look like this as we're sitting. And the breathing for this one is simple. You're going to inhale, exhale all the way, and then you're going to hold your breath at the bottom of your exhale. When you can't hold your breath anymore, you'll inhale and start over. We'll also do this for 3 minutes, starting now. So inhale, exhale, hold your breath for as long as you can at the bottom of the exhale. Inhale, exhale, letting everything out, and then hold your breath at the bottom of the exhale. As you're holding your breath at the bottom of your exhale, see if you're holding tension anywhere in your stomach or your chest that you can let go of. Maybe you're still holding tension in your neck, your shoulders, your jaw. As you're in that space at the bottom of your exhale, you can practice letting things go. Inhaling all the way, exhaling all the way, and then holding your breath after you expel all of the air from your lungs. Halfway through, we have a minute and a half left. Remember inhaling, exhaling, letting all of the air out of your lungs, and then holding your breath at the bottom of the exhale. If your hand starts to feel funny or tingly behind your back, you can rest it and just imagine that your hand is still there. Try leaving it there a little bit longer than you think you can if it does start to feel uncomfortable. Shifting your attention from the discomfort to your breath. Got 20 more seconds. Inhale, exhale, then hold the breath before you inhale again. On your next inhale, you can release your arm, having both hands on your knees, and then inhale all the way fully and deeply, holding your breath at the top of your inhale. I want you to hold that breath as long as you can. Can't hold your breath anymore. Exhale. And allow your breathing to return to normal. Letting your body relax, your mind relax. Slowly bringing yourself back to the present moment. Feeling the yoga mat underneath you, the ground underneath you, your hands on your knees, bringing attention to where you are. And taking full and focused deep breaths. Your eyes are closed, you can slowly start to open them, looking up at the ground. Wiggling your spine back and forth. Moving things around, wiggling your fingers. Thank you for practicing yoga with me.